Yo, what is up? What is happening? Welcome to another episode of the Handsome Artist Dating Stories. I'm your host, Forrest, and we have a guest today, Wayne Bear. Say hi to the people, Wayne Bear. Hi, people. Yeah, this is my little homie. He has been with me since I think it was like two or three. I had to ask my mom when I got him, but he's got some battle wounds over here. He's got a little hole in his neck, so too much smoking. I never got him one of them things, but I smoke too many cigarettes. I have to talk with this thing right here. They need to bring back those commercials, man. Oh man, I can go on like a little comedy spiel on that, but this is not what we're here for. But yeah, Wayne Bear, he has seen some things. We're in where the magic happens. He's been in my room for a lot of adventures. Man, he's got stories. He has got stories. Kind of wish there was like a camera in there to like, so I could see the things that I've done from his angle. But yeah, speaking of the magic, yeah, I got me some head yesterday. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. Uh, some always usually interesting happens to me on King Day. My most memorable King Day was MLK Day 2010. That's when my ex-wife got arrested. Yeah, I brought her out to Colorado to just mainly to have my kids around, and we were trying to do some reconciliation shit because I was getting ready to go off to my second tour to Iraq, and we were just basically roommates at that point because the marriage was donezo, and we ended up getting into an argument, and I was like, I'm not finna catch a domestic violence charge, so I went to my room, and she ended up kicking a hole in the door, and then she called the police on me because she wanted me to leave, and I was like, hold up, I pay the rent. Yeah, I was like, I pay the rent on this 5 bedroom house. How dare you tell me to leave? I'm going to my I'm going to my room. It's one of my favorite lines. Well, not that line exactly, but of course, when Steve Urkel was like, I don't have to take this. I'm going home. And that's pretty much what I did. And she called the cops. Cops came out, and whoever calls the police, somebody got to go to jail. Uh, and they asked me who put the hole in the door, and I wasn't going to tell them everything, but I was going to be like, it wasn't me. And yeah, next thing I know, I see them walking my ex-wife out in handcuffs, and she is cussing me out. I ended up picking her up from jail though, even though we did have order of protection. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get right into it. So on this episode of what I like to affectionately call the Hads, I will talk about the 6 times that I went to. Oh shit! 7 times I went to a swingers club. Oh man! See, and just a disclaimer: you're going to hear a lot of I don't remembers and a lot of I don't recalls because I've been to war twice. I've done more than my fair share of drugs, and I've experienced a lot of trauma. So I only remember 50% of my life, and that's why I like to talk to people about our interactions because it'll help me remember stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I did do that. Oh, I was there. And as I said that, I had a memory of this other time that I went to a sex club. So I'm gonna list the experiences in order, and then I'm gonna go and talk about them. So, um, do I want to do it like that? Yeah. All right. Trapeze, trapeze, trapeze. This is too much. My brain is already late. Well, it's not too late, but my brain is like, my peak creative moments are during the afternoon. But I figured I'd give this special episode now. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about it, and that'll be a little bit easier. But I guess I should talk about how I even got interested in going to a sex club. I always been pretty sexually adventurous. One would say hypersexual. I don't think I was. I was molested by my babysitter's daughter. I mean, we were around the same age, but she was more mentally advanced than me, so that's why I just call it molestation. Because, I mean, some people call it experimenting, but nah, she knew what she was doing. We used to be in the back, out of view, making out and like feeling on each other's privates. And I just, because I didn't, I'll say that I was ignorant because I didn't even start masturbating until 18. So I just, clearly I was behind. But yeah, I became aware of sex clubs through porn. And I was like, oh, this once again, it was like piqued my interest. I was like, this is something that I would be interested in doing. And so, oh, never mind. I remember where I got put on the sex clubs. The movie Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, great movie. One of my favorite Stanley Kubrick movies. And yeah, with Tom Cruise, and then who was it? He was with at the time, Nicole Kidman. Can't keep up with the white women. But yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. And if you haven't seen it, you've probably been on the rock, but check it out. And that was the gateway to sex clubs even be on my radar. And then I ended up dating. I was in an 8-year situationship. But y'all, how the fuck did that happen? It happens. And she, the woman I was with, she told me about this place called Trapeze in Atlanta because she read Eric Jerome Dickey books, and he talked about it in there. And then also, what else? The movie Twa 2. Yeah, that's the one where they're in the sex club. So those are all the things that kind of gave me an idea of what a sex club was, what you would do at one. And then even then, before then, when I was 18, I came across hedonism in Jamaica, and it's something I know at some point I'm going to end up going. It's one of the things I was always curious about. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to this first time. The first time that I went to a sex club was in 2014, either 2013 or 2014. I would have to go dig in some vaults, but we'll put around that time frame. And I ended up going with I'm trying to do the mental math on how I want to do these names, but Nikki, it's like 50 million Nikki, so we can go ahead and say that name. Good old darling Nikki. But her and I dated before, and when I was stationed at Fort Carson. She was pretty adventurous. I mean, she was in the Army herself, and yeah, Army girls like to have fun. And she, of course, our relationship didn't last. She was first out of a marriage. I was still legally married, and it ended up, it was too much. It was cool till it wasn't, I guess is the best way of saying it. Really didn't end things on bad terms. We still kept in touch after the fact, and even after she left Colorado, and I would eventually leave Colorado back to St. Louis and then move to Atlanta. And she was like, hey, you want to we had laid plans to link up, and her fiance at the time was he was in the Air Force, and that's who she ended up. That was a dude that she ended up with after we dated. But he was in the Air Force, and he was gone on deployment, and so she was like, "Hey, you wanna? I can come up there." I'm trying to get the time frame right because one of them. There was another time when I ended up going down to Florida to hang with her. Damn, I can't talk about this stuff because they're no longer together. They're divorced. All right, bam. I'm just, some people be putting shit together. Uh, and yeah, so she ended up coming up to Atlanta, and it was just supposed to be like a friends hangout. And we explore the city, and we went out to dinner, and then I was like, "Hey, wanna go to Trapeze? I've always wanted to go. Never had anybody that was down to go with me." And she was like, "Sure." It's like, "All right, bet." So we ended up going after dinner. We got back to the crib, freshened up, and then went and got a bottle of wine from Publix because Trapeze is bring BYOB. And I did my research beforehand. I looked it up. I looked at the price. Of course, they're pricey. I like the fact that they're pricey. Is to weed out the creeps, the creepiest of the creeps. Because if you don't have that price point, it's going to be looking like Tokyo Valentino up in there. The Cheshire Bridge location, yeah, that's the one with the glowy holes in the rooms, all that shit. And my bad. Yeah, I think the price because you have to pay for a membership, like a 2-month membership, and then you have to pay the nightly fee, whatever. And of course, it's usually more expensive on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think Friday and Saturday night are the peak times, and then Sunday's lower. You can only go as a single guy during the week, and yeah, single women can go any night. And so we get in there. It was cool. Nice little chill aesthetic. You don't walk into people fucking. You don't walk into an orgy. You walk in, they valet your car, and you're in the front, and you gotta, put in your information, sign a release, pay your money, and then give them your whatever alcoholic beverage you have, and they take it back to the bar. And so we go in. Of course, they got the bar up front. Yeah, bar up front, and then bar, and they had a buffet, and they had a dance floor, and they was playing music and stuff. And we sat out there, drank a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, ready to go go back?" And she's like, "Cool." So I ended up going back to the changing area, the locker room, and that's where you undress. You got to take all your clothes off. Women can still wear like lingerie and stuff like that, but we stripped down. We gave us towels and shit, and then they have renovated it since then, and so I'm trying to like remember how it looked then. But you have in the front, there's a front part where they can have like, I think it was like 3 parts. You have like the front part where you could have single guys, and then that's where the private rooms were. And then there was another part, and I could be wrong. I don't know. Once again, it's a lot of things that didn't stay with me memory wise. And then there was the orgy room where pretty much anything goes. Single guys couldn't go back in there. And then in the back there was like kind of a lounge area with pool tables, places to sit. They had a pool in there, and then they had jacuzzis. And so me and Nikki, we're just walking around, and I didn't have. I just wanted to go. I just wanted to experience it. And then we ended up going to the jacuzzis, and then Nikki, there was two black chicks over in there, and then Nikki was all like, "Hey, yo, one of them's like really checking you out. You should make a move." And so I ended up talking to the one black woman that was checking me out, and started up conversation. She was in the Air Force, and she was getting ready to deploy herself. So we had some military chit chat. Then I was like, all right, I need to make something happen. I was like, hey, you wanna take this further? And she was like, yeah. And so it was me, her homegirl, and then Nikki. We went back to the private room, looking for one, and I found one that was like cracked open a little bit, and there was I don't know. I think I knocked on the door. Either way, the door was able to open. Went through there, and it was a couple. And I was like, hey, can we? Is it cool if we, you know, not join y'all, but come in the room too? And they were like, yeah. And so all four of us came in. Not yeah. Her and old girl's friend and Nikki like stood by the door, and they were just watching. And of course we asked if it was cool they could watch. They were like, yeah. And so the couple, they're doing their thing, and then I go in and start, get things rolling because there's a bed next to them, and I pull out the condom, and yeah, take off the towel, and she sees my dick, and she's like, "Is that it?" Because we had just come out of the jacuzzi, and then I'm a grower, not a shower. I was like, all right, I got something for you, and so got it hard, and then we ended up fucking. I was worried about performance issues, like, cause I don't think I had fucked anybody. Nah, have I? I think. Damn. I may or may not have fucked somebody in front of other people before that night. But anyways, we ended up fucking. I finished. Pretty sure she came, but and then so done, and then she started playing around with the couple, and I was like, oh shit. And then that got me, it didn't take me long to get hard again. So then she ended up coming back. She sucked my dick, and then we fucked again. And then we parted ways. And it was that night was hilarious because one dude was trying to talk to Nikki, and she was like, nah, I'm good. But her reaction was kind of like, was very strong. I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, and then we left and went back to my place, and Nikki and I fucked. Yeah, good times. All right, let me see. These next couple ones won't be long. So the next one was with 8-year situationship. She was still legally married, and of course we had been dating since I was in Germany. And then she was part of the reason why I moved to Atlanta, but I was trying to force a relationship, and yeah, that didn't work out too well. But she did agree to go. We had went out that night. We had no plans of going to a sex club. We went to a restaurant over in Atlantic Station, and I was like, I pitched it to her. I was like, hey, you wanna go? And she was like, cool. And I should have, in hindsight, we kind of didn't go over like the ground rules, or what the expectations were, because we go through kind of the same thing with Nikki, and then we go on the back, and she. And even though we were in an 8-year we were in a situationship, we didn't have a lot of sex. Like I wanted to fuck all the time, but she always came up with it. Man, you never know. She could have been fucking somebody else. But so I was like, I was looking to, I was just going just to see what would happen, and so we go back to the orgy room, and I noticed this couple that's like sitting across from us, and they're doing their thing, and then oh yeah, in your situationship's name's Lala. So there we go. So Lala's giving me head, and then the woman, she comes over. I guess she's trying to like join us or do something, and Lala kind of pushes away. And then just soon after that, like the mood change shifted or whatever, and then she was like, "Hey, I'm ready to go." And I don't remember what sparked it after we left, but we got in an argument. Like we argued all the way back to her place. The argument was so bad. I was like, "Hey," because she had some stuff staying in my storage. I was like, "Come get your shit." Yeah, I had all her stuff ready for her when she picked it up. But I guess the lesson I learned from that one is she wanted me to protect her, like, or like kind of, I guess from my point of view was, I guess I needed it to be a clear cut, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. It was a communication situation. That's what we'll chalk it up to. So that was the checking the time, and I wish I would have worn my glasses. Alright, we're good. That was the second time I went to Trapeze. The third time I went was back with Lala. We had made up by then, and it was for my birthday. This probably was 2014 still. Maybe 2015. It's one of my birthdays. And I was like, "Hey, you want to go trapeze?" She was like, "All right, we can, try again." And then she told me what her expectations were and stuff like that. So it went over much better. Went through, and then it was cool because we were in the orgy room, and I was eating her out, and then there was another couple, and the dude was eating his woman out, and then the two, Lala and the other woman, they were holding hands, and I was like, "Oh shit!" They was holding each other during the orgasm. So that's the most memorable part of that night. I don't remember. I don't recall if we had sex there. And alright, so that was number 3. The fourth time that I went to Trapeze, or a sex club, was Trapeze, and it was Helen. That was who I was in a 2-year relationship with, and I'll say that in my dating life, I enjoy adventurous women. Some would call them hoes, some would call them sluts. People are like, "You can't turn a hoe into a housewife." I'm like, former hoes make the best housewives, because I can't do them prude bitches, man. I can't. I like to fuck still, and I feel like, yeah, sex is the love language for me. And so, like, if we together, like, we gonna be fucking. And I like to be adventurous and go do shit like that. But so that's what drew me to Helen. She was down, and so we ended up going to Trapeze, and we weren't official yet. I think we were just fucking, but it was just such a turn on to be in there, and I don't think Lala had her titties out while we went, I don't remember if Nikki had hers. I think she was wearing a bra, but Helen was comfortable enough to go in there and like she had a nice B cup titties out, and so yeah, we ended up fucking in the orgy room. That was very we during that whole relationship we had a lot of great sex, a lot of great sexual moments. The sexual chemistry was on point. And all right, so we're at number 4, and right there I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right there, and that'll be part 1, and then part 2 I'll go into the last 3 sex clubs.